All eyes on President-elect Donald Trump. There's been a lot of talk about his proposed policies, particularly related to the rights in the LGBTQ plus community. Trump has proposed to ban transgender athletes from competing in women's sports. He also said he plans for congressional approval recognizing only two sexes.
I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth.
There's been strong reaction from both sides of the aisle. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored tonight, we have with us Lewis Hunter and a member of Houston's transgender community, Barbie Braxton. So, Barbie, obviously you were not surprised, or were you surprised when you heard this?
I wasn't. I mean, we all been hearing about it. We all been hearing about, was it Project 25 or whatever? So, no, I wasn't surprised about it. We're the least protected people. So he's going to try to make an example out of us.
Mm-hmm. And so when you heard this, what were your emotions like? What did you think about it?
I laughed at it because, I mean, nothing's really changed. She's just saying stuff that people been saying. So I'm just like, just wait for everybody else's turn.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he said, wait for it, because you think it will roll downhill.
It absolutely will.
After you guys, then somebody else,
Absolutely.
the next group, and the
Absolutely.
group after that. And what would you say to those who are in the LGBTQ plus community that may have, because there are the log cabin Republicans who support Trump, and there have been many individuals in the LGBTQ plus community who have supported Trump. So what would you say to those individuals?
Just keep your head up, stay strong. Basically, Rome was not built overnight. Not too long ago, black people didn't have rights. They're trying to do us the same way, take us back. So just keep strong and keep your head up.
All right, Lewis, your thoughts on this? Obviously, you're not surprised, but do you agree with what the president has to say?
Absolutely. I don't think that the federal government should be involved in the culture in which people operate. It changes nothing. If you are part of the LGBT community, you will be part of the LGBT community. This has specifically to deal with gender. As far as protections federally, everyone has protections. Everyone
Absolutely
has
not.
rights. Those protections are there. That I don't know what rights that I might have that you might not have.
It's a lot of rights that we don't have.
Can you name one?
We are the least protected people. Like, we can, like, if somebody come, like, even like the trans panic law, people know that I'm trans and I'm dating them, they can scream that we didn't know that she was trans, and they can get off.
What specific right? See, we're talking about emotion. How someone feels about you has nothing to do with rights.
It has a lot to do with that.
You have the right to vote. You have the right to assemble. You have the right.
That don't matter.
So what I'm asking is, what specific right do I have that you don't?
You're black?
Yes,
I'm asking you,
black? My father's black, yes.
Okay. So just as a cisgender heterosexual man, you have more rights than me, period.
But we can't compare this to being black, because
Absolutely,
hold on, let me finish.
You can.
A white man cannot identify as a black man.
That has nothing to do with
gender
that.
is established at conception. Gender is recognized at birth. That's fact. And it's
it's not going to change.
And this has nothing to do with discrimination. This has nothing to do with discrimination. You live your life, and I protect your right to live your life. You know, I would speak up for that. This has to do with the fact, you know, people think that this is a discriminative thing. This is 6th grade biology. This is not something as a hit against you. This is the federal government should not take part in the dysphoria that someone has about their gender. If someone is born and they don't like their gender, and that's a completely different debate, right? We're talking about the fact that Trump says that there are two genders. There's a male and a female, an
Everybody
XX
knows
and an
that.
XY.
Everybody knows that.
Then why? So are you saying that there should be some inclusion outside of
It should be inclusion in everything.
Why?
It should be, because
What's the purpose?
everybody should be included in everything.
Let me
You
ask
can't not exclude anybody.
Outside of a person being born male or female, what else is a person born?
I said it, everybody already know that. So you
Okay.
keep repeating the same thing. Everybody know what we're born at birth. So that's not the issue. But you can't tell nobody that they can't be trans. That's like you can't tell nobody what
And
they
that-
can and can't do.
and
You
that's
cannot
not-
do that.
And that's not what's
So,
being said.
Barbie, let me ask you this. Are you concerned that at some point in your life down the road, you cannot change your birth? Because a lot of people change their birth certificates. And they go through the courts and they identify as, and it's on their driver's license as well. Are you concerned about those steps down the road?
Yes, for some people, and no, some people don't care about their stuff being changed, and some people do. But like I said, we just have to keep pushing. We have to keep fighting because, you know, he can be overturned.
I mean, these laws were established. I mean, women had the right to vote in 1920. The Civil Rights Bill was signed in 1964. It was amended to include specifically gender in 1967. So all of these bases have been covered. I think what happened was when Obama got in office, he acknowledged the inclusion of what someone identified as, you know. And what it did was it sent a message that there was this third world. You know, we got, at the end of the day, you know, the federal government, the Department of Education, we've got kids in third world countries, you know, learning organic chemistry and quantum physics. And here we are arguing about whether or not somebody was born a boy or a girl. You know, and that might not be the argument here, but that's the general discussion. And it's sad, is what it is.
It's not sad because people need to learn to accept everyone, no matter what they identify as. You keep trying to say, oh, this and that, and third world country. We're not worried about what's going on over there because we don't live there. We're dealing with what's going on in our backyard. But see, that's what he's doing now because he got everybody in an uproar to come against the community that a lot of people do not accept. But like I said, everybody just have to wait their turn.
The beauty
Because
of
he's
this,
going to get
the
everybody.
beauty of this country, regardless of who someone voted for, is you can disagree with everybody.
Absolutely.
You know, if the protections that I have, if someone does something to you versus if someone does something to me, the consequences are the same.
No, it's
So,
not.
you know,
Absolutely not.
You know, that
It's
might
not.
be perceived, but,
Louis,
it's
you
not.
have to wrap it up because we're moving on, but go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead,
but
wrap it
that's
up.
not the truth. We need to understand that you don't have to agree with something that someone else does. You know, I'm part Korean. I eat Korean food. Some people might view that as weird. Doesn't mean they want to oppress Korean food. Doesn't mean that they hate Korean food. They just choose to think it's weird. You know?
You
And
can't
so
compare,
if someone
food to people's
if someone
gender's
believes
identity.
that just in the same context as you can't compare black to this gender dysphoria, this fantasy of this is what I decide to be, which
It's
you
not
have
a fantasy. I'm here in
which
reality.
you have every
It's
right
not
to
a
do.
fantasy.
Which you
We
have
want to
every
thank you
right
both
to
for
fantasy.
joining us
Thank
out of
you.
time, and I'm sure the viewers like, let him go, Isaiah. But
Yeah.
we have other stuff. We have